Our fans, hello and welcome back to season 7, episode 30 on the Stevenage Football Club podcast. I'm about to annoy and Luca quite a bit now, or maybe not Luca so much, but I certainly know that And is just going to hate me. I'm over the moon, boys. 6th place, 31 points, 9 wins. The biggest game of the season at Stockport Saturday. I'm excited. I believe we can go get behind the ball, 3-5-2, nick a point, nick a result, and then kick on into Christmas and recruit a new striker. I don't know what you boys are feeling. Are you on the same wavelength or?
No.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just not going to say anything because you know exactly what I'm thinking.
Can I say to you 2 words?
Oh, no.
Just for both of you. The Bez.
Oh,
Donkey. I tell you what. I'd rather had Soldier Boy playing rather than Bez last night.
What, the rapper?
Yeah, he might. He'd been just as good.
To be fair, he's probably not bad at 2-touch. Probably could.
how long
Yeah,
was that? A
exactly.
minute?
That's all you
mentioned
need.
his name?
Yeah. 1 minute. I had. No, do you know what it is? It's almost like I think I have the Bez
Autism.
Tourette.
Autism.
I think I have something called the Bez Tourette's. I think I mention the Bez like every few paragraphs.
When he scored, we were not going to hear the end of it. It's going to be mentioned every
He won't
episode.
score.
No, you know what he'll do? No, he'll score at somewhere like Cardiff away in a couple of weeks. It'll be
He's
somewhere.
sitting on a line from the corner.
He will not.
You know, no, I tell you when the Bez would score. Plymouth away on a Tuesday night. Like just the most idiotic
isolation goal.
I'll be honest with you, right? The only time I see Bez scoring is never. It will be on the line and he'll somehow head it onto the to the bar and it will get cleared out. That's what's going to happen. Guaranteed.
It'll be a
Bez
strike
will
from
not score a
Reedy,
goal.
deflecting in off his leg or something, top corner. It'll be that.
Look, they all count at the end of the day. I don't want to stick up for the Bez, but
Hang on.
by the way, and as well, did you have to think then? Were you thinking about the cup competitions we're still left in, but then realised we weren't in any? So you went, he's never going to score.
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought he was going to go.
Hang on. I'm just bear with me. I'm just seeing how many goals he scored in his life.
What, the Bez?
Yeah.
The Bez has scored against us before. Pretty
When?
I swear he was close to double figures last season. I know it
He
sounds
was.
crazy.
When he
There
like
is
10.
no way he scored.
He did. He scored away at us. I remember
Yeah.
Boxing Day.
Yeah, Bez knows where the back of the onion bag is.
We let that donkey score against us.
He did score a header. I remember.
He did.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, go on, Am. What are the stats for him?
I'm just trying to find his Wikipedia, bear with.
Does he have one?
He got 10 goals for Wickham.
Mate, I'm telling you, mate.
Google see.
Look, I stick up for the Bez. I thought he give it a good go last night. I did.
He dribbled the ball out of play with no one around him. You
Well,
can't bypass that. You
he got
cannot
9 last
bypass that as a
season.
professional player.
Yeah, but I don't know. These things happen. I don't know. First, do you know what? We'll get on to it. How are you boys? How are you both?
All good. All good. Well, last night was a bit of we were unlucky, wasn't it? I think to be honest, I think how it goes when you're on those sort of games, and I think we were really limited when we with the talks that we had in terms of selection and that. But
Yeah.
for me, I thought it was a learning curve really, because we learnt a few things. I thought 3 things I picked out. Which, first of all, you've got your strengths. I thought we really underlined what we're good at last night, which is working together as a unit. Our shape, fantastic defensively. Secondly, I thought we know what we need to improve on. Definitely attacking, in terms of an alternative to Kempy as well. We've got to find that. But then also, what we need to do to get to that top level, because mistakes are punished when you play the top teams, and it was like that. The goal that came about from last night was one that we didn't press well. We didn't press it enough. Didn't get out to the striker more. And a striker of Callum Nonson's quality, he's just going to lace that into the bottom right corner, and that's what he did. And creating chances against them when you're not playing well. That's what we need to improve on. But it tells us about how far we come as well. And it was a mixed night really for me.
Yeah, and obviously I'm going to go through the lineup in a bit, and we're obviously going to go straight into it the other night. How have you been, mate? I know I saw you last night, but did I? No, I saw you before the game and then half time, didn't I? But
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. It's just a bit of a long old evening. Didn't get into like 11. I was like, so that was a bit of a tough one. But no, I've kind of been reflecting on it today, and I think for me, um, I say it a lot. I always look at a game 24, 48 hours after and go, did we do enough in the game to get a win? No, we didn't do near enough. Did we do enough to get a draw? Yes. Um, I think the pass that is made that ends up at Callum Robinson, you play that pass 10 times, 9 times it never ends up in that position. And the one time it does, it falls to someone of Premier League quality. Let's have it right, Premier League quality. You
Yeah,
know, you look through that
Patrick
starting
away at
lineup
Chelsea,
last
yeah.
night.
yeah.
Yeah, he's playing in the Premier League. Callum Chambers playing centre half, stolen a living at Arsenal for God knows how long.
But I'm sure he remembers Jamie Reid too well, doesn't he?
Yeah, right. Yes, I knew that would any sprinkle of positivity.
Well, I did love the match report where whoever wrote that had to throw that in there, didn't they? Who noticeably played against us at Villa in 2023. I
Yeah.
love that. Just a little dig.
But what um I think there's a few things that annoyed me to an extent. Um Last night, I think our fans are very fickle and what I mean by that is if we walk out of the ground last night and we got a 0-0 draw, everyone's going, brilliant performance, great point. We did unbelievably. We controlled it, we managed situations, we did this really, really well. We walk out of the ground 1-0 and everyone's going, yo shit, yeah. And I'm sitting there going, it's taken a moment of excellence and Premier League quality to win Cardiff City a game of football. And let's be honest, if you said to me at the start of the season, Cardiff will come to you on a Tuesday night and they'll score in the 85th minute and that'll be the winning goal and it'll be scored on a half volley on the edge of the area. Would you have believed me? Would you have taken it? 100% you would.
Yeah, I think like knowing that Cardiff are a top team, and that they've got a lot of quality and high scorers, it's not a shock. Like
No.
it's not like we've just been beaten by Peterborough, or Burton at home, but then you kind of you look at it and you go, God, we've been beaten by a really poor side. Playing Cardiff, who are top of the minute and they've scored 32 goals.
Mm.
It's interesting. I've got two big points to make, but what I'm going to do, as we always do, to give a bit of context, I'm going to go through the lineup of what we started and the stats, and then we're just going to go straight into these points because I feel like we've got a lot to discuss about last night. So for all the listeners and people watching, of course, on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. We did play Cardiff last night in a top of the table clash, third v first it was at the time. And again, I think we looked upon this week as the week. How good is this squad? We know how great it is. I mean, we've had a phenomenal season, 31 points, and we've been top. Oh, I've lost count how many times we've been top. A big week, Cardiff and Stockport. And I think we looked upon last night as, well, both these matches, just try and get a result from both games. Whether you end up with 2 draws, we take it. These are big games and we want to see this top half League One team. So that's what we created, a top half League One team to get results against those other top teams to show that we belong there and makes the players feel like they belong there as well whenever they play these top sides. We did lose the game 1-0 against Cardiff last night. Gutting evening. The goal was scored in the 85th minute by Robinson, who is a very good footballer. I'd even argue at Championship and Premier League level, as he's proven in the past. losing 1-0 in the game. Now, going into the match, we did hear some rumours that we were missing quite a lot of the squad due to injury, due to tiredness, due to other things. And that was the case. Now, Revs did line up, it seemed, in that 3-5-2 formation as we have adopted the past couple of games. And that's something that we've been really happy about, as we know that we've needed to adapt and evolve and, change the style to get us winning games and picking up points again, which we've done, 5 points in 9 before Cardiff. Philip Marshall in goal. Luther James Walling at right wing back with Charlie Good, Cole Pigiani, who went back into the team, Lewis Freestow making up that kind of three together. What a three that is, by the way. And Saxon Early keeping his place at left wing back. We had Louis Thompson and Jordan Houghton as the two, which something we hadn't seen this season. And it was great to see two top League One, players play together in the middle. Ryan Doherty, Doco, was given his first ever EFL start as a professional footballer for us. I know that this has been spoken about a lot with Doco. He played a lot of Football League Trophy matches, and it was almost like, he's Rev's going to play him. And last night he did. What a performance, by the way, and we will touch on Doco a bit later. Leading the line was big goal Reedy, Jamie Reid, and Anne's favourite player, the Bez, led the line together last night.
Thank you.
Sorry, Anne. The substitutes for the match: Tasby Hammond, Chem Campbell, Phoenix Patterson, Jova Malcolm, Jasper Patterson, Dan Phillips, and Dan Sweeney. The statistics for the match last night: we had 33% possession to Cardiff's 67. We had 2 shots overall in the whole match. Cardiff had 11. We had no shots on target last night compared to Cardiff's 2. So really not many shots, hardly any shots on target from both sides in the game. We had 16 touches in the opposition box compared to Cardiff's 12. Only one save last night from both goalkeepers, and that was Philip Marshall, or as Anne likes to call him, Philip Martial.
No. Don't drop this on me.
Philip Martial.
This was Blackpool away.
Yeah, no crystal ball, Anne, no crystal ball. Only one save in the game. That was Philip Marshall. Aerial duels, we had 23-1 to Cardiff's 22. There were 30 fouls committed overall in the game. We made 18 to Cardiff's 12. 10 corners, we had 4 to 6. Some distribution stats for everyone. Total passes, we made 229 to Cardiff 465. We had a 49% pass accuracy compared to Cardiff's 81. 19 backward passes compared to Cardiff's 67. 129 forward passes compared to Cardiff's 148. We made more long balls, 68 to Cardiff 61. 46 successful final third passes to Cardiff's 93. We had 20 crosses overall to Cardiff's 19. Total yellow cards in the match, we had 4 compared to Cardiff's 1. Now, boys, obviously, we've touched on it a bit. We actually had a big chat about this off the pod, actually, and I think both of yours kind of monologues almost were perfect. I've got 2 things, and I'm going to throw the floor to you boys about it. So my 2 things are, I was really happy with the way that we set up, right? So we spoke last week about, we would like to see the 3-5-2 as we've evolved and adapted into this new style that we've a new approach that we've deployed. Sorry, I think the word is the past few matches. We want to see it at home against these top teams when we play them, because I think at home, 3-5-2 is so effective because you make us so difficult to beat. Excuse me. And I was really happy that we set up in that yesterday. I thought Alex Ravel got it pretty much bang on for who he could choose. Obviously, no Kempe, no Harv, injuries galore. I thought the back line was great. I thought that was a perfect setup in the back. I loved the way that Pidge went back in. He kept Lou, he kept Saxon. Perfect. I thought Louis and Jordan Houghton was a real good pair to play. Obviously, Dan Phillips had a sore hamstring, so he didn't start. He was brave to go Dockers, and it paid off. And then obviously he went Reedy in the Bez. And maybe the Bez, you could argue, maybe somebody else could have played, or maybe Phoenix could have played. But I think for the best part, he pretty much chose the right team that he could choose, given the players that were available. So I was really happy about the setup. And it was really clear to me, boys, it was all about getting a result in the game, right? And I think we knew that Cardiff were going to be dominant on possession. They always are. I think we knew that it was going to be a tough game. And the game plan was get behind the ball and make us hard to break down. and kind of make Cardiff almost feel like a bit like, how do we break Stevenage down here, right? And don't get me wrong, they had a couple of decent chances in that first half. But second half, I somewhat thought we stifled them a little bit. And I know they had that one that skimmed the bar. I can't remember really any chances that they had in the second half where I kind of was like, oh my word. It was, in my opinion, I felt a pretty comfortable second half. And I thought it was going to be a draw all day long. I thought it was nailed on for 0-0. And actually, I think Cardiff thought that. If you have a look at Cardiff City's substitutions with 10 minutes to go, they tried to set up against what we'd changed with Phoenix and Chem coming on out wide. And I actually think there was a period, my dad said it as well, around the 80th minute mark, where I think Cardiff thought, do you know what, we'll take a draw here. Just don't lose the game. In the way that they ended that 10 minutes. And all the top teams, we have done it in the past. We've done it this season, haven't we, at Port Vale, other matches. You just find goals. And it was just a little bit of a mistake. Unlucky from our situation, a good goal. And then you look, maybe we could have stepped out to the ball a bit better. But a great strike, and we've lost the game. Secondly, my second point, I know it was a long point. Secondly, it's very clear to me, we have created this top half League One team. And we're on the cusp of being a real top team that you'd see up in that top four. But we just haven't, around Jamie Reid, got any goal scorers that are going to contribute any goals. And that, for me, is the reason why you've seen 1 win in 7. I think that's the reason why you've seen, well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. You're right. What's it? 19 goals. If you look at the league table from 14 upwards, we've got the lowest goal scoring rate. And that's what's held us back. And I think if we had or have another goal scorer with Jamie Reid or another, you would probably see us top 2. Heck, if we'd have scored 5 more goals, you would probably see us top, given how good the defence is. Those are my 2 points from it. I'm going to throw it to you, boys. What you think? Any one of you can go. What was your take on the 1-0 defeat?
Well, what I really liked was
I think
that defensively we did what we were really good at. We made it difficult for them. We got our shape well. We did it early, and that's what we did throughout. The chances that they had were few and far between, really. You could say they hit the bar, they had a few crosses in, and then they had the goal. But apart from that, it was just possession-based pressure, wasn't it? In and around the box. And what I really like from Revs is that against that level of opposition, he's enforcing style of that unit onto him, and he's not afraid to do it against that top team. But I definitely agree against with the attacking options. I think there was just no link whatsoever, and that obviously comes down to Kempy and White not being in the team. That link from defence to attack is non-existent, to be honest. I thought the forwards, I know it's really hard for them. They could have done a bit more work, I thought, and link-up play wasn't as great as it has been. I think definitely Gas helped that in the last few games that he played as well. But I think that probably people need to take a realistic point because, we're not really experienced in these games, are we? These types of games against this type of opposition. And the fact that Revs is really confident enough to put that style in, and then we can put a performance like that in 90 minutes against a side like Cardiff, it's really inspiring. It shows how far we've come. But we've got to have more to us, more dynamics to us. And that will, if we do add that, the whole package of our team, as you say, will be much better and will compete at that top level.
Do you know what it is as well, Luca? I think when you have a look at the squad there was top, when you look at, you see Jordan Houghton, Louis Thompson, Charlie Good, all the Cole Pidge, there was some top level League One players that, a lot of these players, if you pinpoint Good and Houghton, they're used to playing in these type of matches. But what did it for me is we were just missing certain big players that, like Dan Kemp, for example, right? We talk about chance creation. If you're a side that's lacking chance creation anyway, with him out the side, I mean, it's just, he is somewhat the reason why we have the chances that we create in games, because he's such a creative player. And Harvey as well. Harvey's contributed as well this season. So when you're missing two of your most creative players in that midfield, in that 10, I didn't expect us to create a lot yesterday. I think for me, the objective was get behind the ball, get a result. And to be fair, it was going perfectly. 0-0, 80 minutes. You're thinking, what I loved about it, he had the balls to go Phoenix Chem and at 0-0 try and nick the game. I think that's the way you have to play against the top teams. You have to get through the game, manage it. 10, 15 minutes to go, and you've got players to come off the bench and win you a game. I thought he did that. But we just missed it heavily throughout the match. And I think that was really I mean, look, when you have a look at the shots and there was none on target, of course it was apparent. And what was your take? I know that you mentioned a little bit at the start, but what was your take on it yesterday, mate? The 1-0 defeat.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Oh, I love it when you play devil's advocate.
So you're saying we miss Kempy and White, which we do, right? They're integral into the way we play. However, and I said this off the pod, at the start of the season, we were playing very much ball on the floor into Houghton, into White, through into Kemp, into the wide areas, attack down the side and getting the crosses in, right? That's how we kind of typically played with the ball, right? For the last however long, month, maybe more, we've stopped doing it. And we've started going to the long ball, almost like the Steve Evans football, where you boot the ball long, win it, and then you play in the final third. When you've got a strike partnership of Reedy and Bez, and then you've not got someone to go and then feed, because the 3 last night was a flat 3. It wasn't a 2 and a 1. It was a flat 3. When you've not got someone then to go and win the pickup and the second balls, it's pointless playing that way. You're better off playing it into the midfield and then playing it to the strikers. Okay? So you say we're lacking chance creation. Even before, when we did have Harv and Tempe, I still don't think we were creating that much because we were hoofing the ball over them, and that doesn't suit them. They want their ball to feet, in pockets of space to turn, and then play wide or play forward. And we've not been doing that. And I think that for me has become a bit of a bugbear because I thought last year we were trying to transition from that long ball into playing with the ball on the floor. We started this the season so well by keeping the ball on the floor. And now we've gone back to our old ways and hoofing it long. And to be honest, against a side like Cardiff, who have got unbelievable players, it's not going to work. It's just not. You look at Callum Chambers, right? He played in the Premier League for donkey's years, God knows how, because I don't think he was all that good, but he's done it. So seeing that kind of football, he's sitting there going, meat and drink. The only time we got him behind him was when Reedy spun him. But even then, when he did spin him, he still had the know-how and the awareness of how to hold Reedy in the place or try not and keep Reedy in a place, and they isolated him. And I just don't. For me, watching Stevenage, everyone's got this association of Stevenage being long ball, physical, in your face. Physical and in your face, I can deal with. Playing long ball football. Think back to Luton, right? How well did we play against Luton? And what did we do? We kept the ball on the floor. We played it into the channels, into the gaps, behind the lines. We played so much better football.
I think it's been I think like whenever I've gone on like other podcasts and fans go, describe your style. I've always said this season, I think our style's been a bit of a mix, right? I think we've got the ability to get the ball down and play lovely football and play through the lines and get Dan Kemp in the pockets of space and create. We move the ball from one side of the pitch to the other to try and create those delivery options that we love to get the ball in, deliver. And, as Rev says, crosses, shots, all of those things. But we also have this side where we can be direct and we can be physical and we can win our battles like we did at Orient and like we did at Wigan. Do you know what I mean? But last night, you are right. It was almost like we thought the gas was playing. Almost. It was almost like we'd forgot that the gas wasn't playing and we were hitting a lot of direct ball. Reedy and Bez aren't your typical players that are going to be able to hold the ball, keep the ball, bring others in and keep it from so. So there was a lot of times last night where a ball went over the top. And don't get me wrong, there was a couple of times where we got in behind with the ball over the top. And I could see why we were trying it. But against the top side, you need a bit more than that. And I thought that was quite evident.
Yeah. I think for me, it's you try it for the first 10, 15 minutes. If you see it's not working, change your style, get the ball down, play with it on the floor. And then 20 minutes ago, you change your front three like we did last night with Phillips, Chem, and Phoenix, and then you go right, hit the channels, get Phoenix and Chem running in at defenders, and then you work away where you want to keep the style, but you go right. It's not working now. We'll change it later, and then we'll try to go back to it and see if we can get it in and work it that way. You don't persist with it for 90 minutes because people are just going to go meat and drink to us. Cheers, lads.
Luca, we said, didn't we, as well, shot zero. It's been something that, I say people have brought up as a concern. I mean, I haven't, throughout the whole season, I think because we've just been up the top and we've been, getting the results and the performances we've been doing, I haven't really looked upon it as a massive concern because I thought over time, we changed the style, the goals output would improve, but no shots on target last night. Rev's alluded to it in his interview. Has it become a concern now? Because when you look and see 19 goals, I mean, again, lowest scorers from 14th upwards, and again, no goal yesterday. I don't actually know how many open goals it is from the last month because other than Reedy's penalty against Peterborough, when was the last time he scored an open goal? Was it
Harvey White? Bradford.
I think it was. Yeah. Is it a concern now?
I think because you obviously compare goals to chance creation, and they're both low, aren't they? At the moment, but I think obviously with the injuries we've had recently, especially last game and the last few weeks as well, and the fact that the type of games we've been playing, there've been games where it's away from home, it's tough, it's Tuesday night, and the opposition is tough to go to. They may be in form or maybe like Wigan, they're just a tough place to go. Do you kind of, if you're Rent, you have to revert to that style where we're physical and we're in their face, and we're not going to play the ball on the floor because we have to go out and get a result and win it like that. So I think because we've had maybe a lot of games that have been like that back to back, and the injuries all added on top of that, I think that could be a reason for why we've seen it. But I do agree that prior to that, there was a little bit of that where chance creation dipped. I just think it's maybe the type of games we've had as well. We need to be playing those top teams over and over again with the squad as a whole. But it could be a lot of reasons. And we've always, the last few years, it has been the struggle, hasn't it? Scoring goals. It always has been the struggle. And you need the right personnel. You need the right games for it. You need everything to be right, in my opinion, for us to score the goals. And when we have scored the goals in games like Luton, Leyton Orient, the personnel, everything's all been perfect. So I think when one of those doesn't go right, we see the flaws of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, boys, as well, right? The squad depth in the final third is unbelievable. Like, when you actually look through and I know some of them were injured and they missed last night, Kempy, Jordan Roberts, Phoenix Patterson, Chem Campbell, Bez. I know we joke, but, Bez has shown in the past that he can be a top player at the level. There's so much depth here. The issue is, I think, those players will contribute, but they're not typically goal scorers. And I just think that if we had another goal scorer with Reed, look, we know Jamie Reed, typically, he has purple patches throughout a season where he'll go and score you 3 goals here, 3 goals there, few goals here. That's kind of how Reed, he doesn't consistently normally just score all the way.
You can't isolate him. When
You
he's
can't.
isolated, he's poor.
Yeah, 100%. Like last night, he tried. He didn't have any service. He was getting long balls. It was, do you know what I mean? And
he's got to be in a strike partnership, hasn't he?
He has to
say
be.
that.
And if you're going to play that way, like we did last night, you need a gas. As we've seen the 2 matches before, where we won the game, got a result. We really had those 2 brilliant efforts against Wigan and got unlucky. So I think for me, I watched last night and I looked at our team and I thought, wow, what a side we've got, right? Cardiff are struggling. Second half, Cardiff are thinking, how do we get ahead here? And I said to my dad, I said, the only thing you can see is just the output at the other end. If we had that, right, we'd be sitting in the top 2 right now, probably with only a couple defeats and more wins, right? It's the only thing. I was watching and I was thinking, it's the only thing. And it was just so evident to me last night. I mean, look, Cardiff are a top team, right? Rev said it in the interview. They moved the ball really well. Very good side, right? And last night was always going to be difficult. What I will say, and Anne made a good point, we draw that last night, 0-0. Everyone comes out the ground. Okay, they're probably gone, or we didn't have a great attacking display, but what a point that is. What a result that is against Cardiff, knowing that we've got these players out. So I think, I don't want to call it an overreaction, but I think there was, how do I say it? I think people were just annoyed at the fact that they've come to watch the team play and there were no shots and no efforts. I think that's where it stems from.
Sorry, can I just jump in quickly?
Yeah,
I don't know about you boys. I actually watched on the Cardiff City YouTube their reaction to the game, and they interviewed Callum Robinson, the goal scorer, and he went, after winning our game on Saturday, we would have been delighted to come here and get a point, but to get 3, it's even sweeter. And their manager went, when you look at the statistics at how many goals we've conceded at home this year, it was scary. It made me feel very insecure almost. And, our fans had an issue travelling. Good to get the win, but my God, teams are going to come here and struggle. And you can see why teams have struggled at home.
And to go along with that, and right, this is why I'm obviously gutted we lost the game, but I'm not really annoyed. I thought we did fine. Like I knew and we all did know in watching that yesterday, it was all about trying to get the result. And if you come away out the ground 0-0, what a point that is, considering who hasn't been available and who we're playing. And, I thought it would have been a fantastic draw last night if we'd have come out and got the result over the line. And we made it difficult. We did our jobs. We worked on, okay, we didn't try to create any chances, but it was all about, and it is for Stockport Saturday. It's the same. It's go, try and get a result, get through the game, manage the game. And we did that. It was unfortunate with the goal. What I will say for the goal is maybe we could have potentially closed that down a little bit quicker. But again, the way he took it so quick, you knew it was in straight away.
Just following on from that, and if Cardiff do go up, they will look at that game last night as a huge 3 points. I think, huge 3 points, because think how many sides look at Stevenage and go, Stevenage away. That is a hard place to go. Awfully played. Our home form. That is our first game we've lost in the league this season at home, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, unbelievable home form. I know it's dipped of late. They will look at that as a huge 3 points, because they showed why they were top team, because they dominated the ball, but did they threaten at all in terms of throughout the game? Not really. So what they did is it was just a professional performance, wasn't it? From young players, he got his team to put in a performance like that. But they marshaled us really well, I thought. Nullified the things that we were trying to do and just managed the game. They took their chances, they punished us with that goal. And that's what top teams do. So,
can I say as well, to go on to that, Luca, what you said, a couple of things I'm going to mention here. One, what an achievement, by the way. If you think, right, we've gone all the way to near Christmas and we've lost our first home match in the league. Like before, 5 wins, 2 draws. I think people have forgotten that. What an achievement. We went 7 matches unbeaten, 5 wins and 2 draws. That was our first defeat at home. Secondly, I will come on to it later. It's the lowest we've been in the table since we started, and that's 6th. That's absurd. I was thinking about this at work today. I was thinking, I haven't seen a 6 in Blackpool. Oh, what? Like, not even that.
Hasn't every loss been 1-0?
Yeah, all losses, all 1-0 losses against 3 of the top teams as well, other than Reading. Like that. But here's something. Before I go to the 3-word analysis, away from home, how do you play against that lot? Because in my mind, it's only in a few weeks that we play. He probably has to play 3-5-2 again, doesn't he? But hopefully there's the personnel in there of Dan Kemp, the gas is back, yada, yada. Harvey's fine. And then maybe, actually...
You know who we're missing. And you know full well who we're missing.
What, Dan Butler?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're perfectly fine without Dan Butler.
Why would you suggest him?
Oh, not this again. We had this off the pod an hour ago. What is that him?
Big bats.
No.
Get him back.
No, and I'd prefer the Bez. I'm sorry, Anne.
He's a hard worker. He'd get the job done more than Bez. Come on.
Yeah, the Bez, Big Vads would have offered more than the Bez last night.
Yeah, but we played direct. It would suited Vads, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I'll throw Press in there as well. I'll throw Alan Presley in there as well.
No, he was a donkey. He was an absolute donkey. I'm so glad he's gone.
I heard he's doing bits. He'll be playing us next season in League One if we stay in League One.
Luke Norris.
That Poundland Stadium.
Oh, imagine Luke Norris in a game like that. Fuck yeah, I would have had him. Why not?
Yeah. But he was never in between the goal, though. He was always out to the side, which doesn't really work as a striker. Yeah.
What? No, I thought the Nos was brilliant in the box.
Why do we every episode get to this segment about old strikers? Honestly, every single episode.
What are we doing? Does this need to be like a theme on the pod where it's like ex-player chat from like 3 years ago and we just whittle it off? I mean, I don't think there's any more strikers that we've missed that we haven't whittled off, to be honest with you.
Kane Hemmings would have done a job.
Well,
definitely would have.
Yeah, maybe Kane Hemmings, maybe.
Annie Newton.
Oh,
just that pace.
Brandon Hanlon, as his brilliant performance.
Who else was there that I can? I'm actually going to think about this now while you carry on. Sorry.
I love this when we'll be talking about Stockport and we'll go, oh, I've got another one. Literally. But no.
I think of some idiots for us.
Look at it. I love him. But no, look, I thought we set up great. We tried to nick a result and it nearly paid off. And if we come out the stadium with a 0-0 draw, everyone's going, what a genius Alex Revell is. He's set up to get a result. We've done that. We go to Stockport and more of the same before we got Burton. And I think it's all about getting to January really quickly so that we can try and recruit in that final third to help and support really and improve our goals output. But 3-word analysis, my word, you lot didn't mess around, did you? Jesus Lord. My phone was absolutely popping off last night. We did tweet out a 3-word analysis to all of the fans on Twitter. And I'm really sorry about this, but your head's going to boil now because the very first comment from the 3-word analysis was from our very good friend, Jake Tong. And Jake Tong's 3-word analysis was with the eye emoji, mind the gap, ?
Can I respond?
I just want to hear your response to that.
What I will say is, Mr. Tong, when you play Cardiff in a couple of weeks, if you play anywhere near to the level when you played us, Cardiff will beat you 3 or 4-0. And when you lose to Cardiff, and we inevitably get a point at Stockport, beat Burton, and then reclaim that position above you, get ready, son. Get ready.
I think the only thing you need to say, and that is 3 words back to that, is just say games in hand. Just leave it at that.
There was also that I could have gone with. Yeah, I did think there. And, you see Barnsley losing. Well, Barnsley did lose to Lincoln, unfortunately. But, Barnsley don't look like they're going to be world beaters. At home, they're brilliant. But away from home, they don't look great.
Yeah. Tuesday night. Who knows? Dan said...
Get the Vards in for that one.
There it is, Luca, although it wasn't a different player. Dan said, slipping down places. Ross Atkins said, plan almost worked. Ian Cole said, we deserve that. Mark Stillin said, utter effing shite. Josh Cooper said, need a striker. Stevenage Interviews said, created nothing again. Stevenage Luca, I don't actually know who this guy is, to be fair. He said
Opinion.
how it goes. I don't know who that is.
Crap opinion.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to get him on the podcast, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
He pops up all the time. There's probably listeners now thinking that it's not you, and they're like, oh, yeah, I do actually wonder who that is. That'd be hilarious. Norms said, gouge my eyes. Dave Millhouse said, least wasn't cold. Mitchell Holland said, new tactics required. And Jason McCluckey said, start Phoenix Patterson. I know Luca's given his three-word analysis. And what would you have as a three-word analysis for last night?
These things happen. And what I mean by that is it took a moment of quality for them to win the game. And you look back to last season when we played Birmingham at home, and it was about the 70th minute. And again, it was a strike from 25 yards out that win them the game.
Yeah.
And these things happen when you go and play a Birmingham or a Cardiff at home. They're going to have one moment of unbelievable quality that's probably championship, top end championship, bottom end Premier League quality that goes and wins them a game of football.
When we keep having games like that, we're going to keep learning from them, and it's not going to keep happening.
Yeah. Look, again, I agree with you guys. I think it was a really good learning curve last night for the team, for Revs. And look, again, if we've got some of those players playing, Kemp, Harv, is that game different? Potentially. And I think that's the way that you need to look at it. It's not like we were there last night. And I know our squad depth is unbelievable. We say it every week, but we were missing some big players. Cardiff weren't really. So, with big players playing like the Harves, like the Kemps, with Jordan Roberts available, with the Gas available, who probably would have done better in a game like that than the Bears, it might have been a different outcome. And it probably would have been a different outcome. So I think that's something to think of. I think my free word in it, I like plan nearly worked, I think, because I actually thought the plan set out from Rebs was brilliant. Loved that 3-5-2 and what we tried to do in terms of getting through the game and nicking it and even making changes to potentially win the match. And it nearly worked and come out the ground at 0-0. We're buzzing with a point, aren't we? And it's another clean sheet, unbeaten in 4. So I think plan nearly worked for me. But thank you to all the listeners and fans for sending in their three-word analysis. Let's take a look at the league. Oh, boys, I'm still buzzing. I'm sorry, guys. Sick. Like, to be honest with you, if someone would have offered a sixth going nearly into, before we played Stockport before Christmas, we would have been like, wow. But it is weird looking at this because it's the lowest we've been since before the season started, which is crazy. There were games last night. I will go quickly through some of the results last night. We'll have a little look at the league table after. Obviously, we lost 1-0 to Cardiff City. Stockport, who we play Saturday in another top of the table game, they beat Doncaster 2-0. Exeter beat Wimbledon 1-0. Leyton Orient drew with Luton 1-1. Lincoln City beat Barnsley 3-1. Bolton beat Mansfield 1-0. Northampton drew with Huddersfield 1-1. Port Vale and Bradford City was postponed. Plymouth beat Wickham 1-0. Big win for Plymouth. And Peterborough beat Reading 2-1. Rotherham is currently playing Blackpool at the minute as we're recording. I think Blackpool winning 1-0.
2-0. 2-0 Blackpool.
2-0. Oh, my word. That's a massive result for Blackpool if that stays the way. 2-0 against Rotherham. League table will go from bottom upwards. Bottom 4, Port Vale, Plymouth, Blackpool and Peterborough. From 20th to 12th, Exeter, Doncaster, Burton, Reading, Mansfield, Rotherham, Northampton, Wickham and Leyton Orient in 12th. From 11th to 7th, it goes Wigan, Barnsley, Wimbledon, Huddersfield, Luton Town. From 6th upwards, us in 6th place, 31 points. 5th is Bolton, Stockport, Lincoln, Bradford, a 2nd place. And Cardiff City are still top with 38 points. Lads, league table. I know there's been a little bit of a change since we last discussed League One. Obviously, we're down in 6th now. Still got a 3-point gap to Luton. Still got games in hands. What are we feeling about the division? Again, really not much movement. Everyone's still there. Luton failed to win. Huddersfield failed to win. Wimbledon failed to win. Barnsley failed to win. So, to be honest with you, we got a little bit lucky with those results the other night, but look, we're still 6th, boys, aren't we?
I think Burton at home on the 20th is huge, absolutely huge, because that is a chance to get back at home with the personnel, regain the momentum, and it's perfect conditions too. Because let's face it, Burton are down there, aren't they? They're not doing well, and you feel like Stockport's going to be a free hit again, probably on Saturday, where we're just going to go into it with the probably same personnel and go and look for a result. Burton is huge, and it leads us into also we need to take advantage of the game in hand as well.
Yeah. So for me, this is the way I look at it. So Stockport this Saturday, Burton, Wimbledon, Cardiff and Plymouth, right? 5 matches that sees us through to the new year. Also, that pretty much gets us to the halfway point, right? A halfway point would be Leyton Orient. Burton, Wimbledon, Plymouth, massive matches, right? I agree. I think Stockport is a free hit Saturday. And I think any type of result from Stockport is brilliant. If it's a point, I mean, if we win the game, Jesus Lord, best result this season. But if we do get a point and get a result, amazing. Burton have to win, in my opinion. If we can win that game, we're at 34 points, nearly at the halfway point, big. Wimbledon and Plymouth, massive. I think those 3 games are the games. I think Stockport away, Cardiff away, complete free hits. And if we go into those games and you don't get results, you'd be gutted. But for me, I think whenever we play Burton, whenever we play Wimbledon on Boxing Day and Plymouth on New Year's Day, we want to see results in most certainly those 3 matches. I mean, look, the league table is the league table, isn't it? We're 6th. We've got games in hand. We're 1 win off Bradford. Say, for example, we beat Stockport, we'd go back up to 3rd, probably in 2nd. So there's nothing to be concerned about the league table. It's unbelievable. We're 6th. We've got all these this kind of 6-point gap to like 11th, 2-win gap. The league table looks great, I think.
We are still punching above our weight, though, hugely this season. And I think we've always said it. It's a top 10 finish. That's the mark. And we're well inside that. And you think we're well confident to still be inside that. I think it's just, as you said, taking advantage of the games. I think Burton, I've said, is huge because it's an excellent chance to exercise the formation, to see that really work against a side that, will be hard to break down, but we should get past. Players should flourish against Burton, certain players. And then obviously Wimbledon, we showed what we can do away at Wimbledon. I know it was the trophy game, but that is another chance to play that way. And then you've got to take advantage of teams at the bottom. I know we found it difficult in other years, but I feel like this season, against teams that are maybe setting up in a low block, they're hard to break down. I feel like that against those sort of teams, we've done well. I think we fared well, especially at home. So if we play that way, we should get a result against Burton, definitely. It's just about coming out the other side of the new year in a stable position where we've maybe ticked off a few weaknesses, we've maybe scored a few more goals, and we've maybe had a few more stable performances away from home as well. It's about keeping that strength. Keep that, and we keep it solid until the new year. We should be good, I think.
I think I like to look at the metrics and the stats, right? Whenever we've played a bottom team, we've pretty much always got results. There's only one in Reading that we've been defeated by, right? All the other teams that we played down never got results. So I know Wimbledon at the minute are 9th, and I think Wimbledon might slip a little bit down since then. But whenever we've played those teams down there, we've got results. And that doesn't change for me. We've created a top half team. We know that we've got a top half League One team. That's what we built in the summer for these next few years. Whenever we play those sides, got to get results. I agree with you. I think if we can get to the new year and we've won another 2 games by the new year, brilliant, because we know Revs is going to look to sort the issues out in the goal scoring attack, and he probably will. He'll find issues, he'll resolve, and I think, look, and I said it earlier, we're on the cusp of unbelievably having a top 5, top 4 team. The reason why we haven't at the minute is for the lack of goals. If we improve the goals output, given our defensive statistics, we are going to be up competing in the top 4. No doubt about it. We have seen some top teams now. We've seen both Cardiff and Bradford. We've seen Lincoln. We're going to see Stockport Saturday. We've seen Luton. We've seen Huddersfield. We've seen the level of those other sides, and they're not frightening. Cardiff were a good side the other night, but I haven't seen a team and I've gone, wow, they're a level above. So if we can just improve that goal scoring output, I don't know what you boys think, but I just think we'll be firmly in that top 5 if we can defensively, consistently keep those certain statistics up throughout the season. Matches this weekend before we talk about Stockport, the big one. My God, there's some big games, and our one is, the creme de la creme of it this weekend. I think they just get even bigger each game we play now. League One this weekend, Wimbledon v Mansfield, Huddersfield v Wigan, a derby game in Huddersfield, Barnsley v Leyton Orient, Blackpool v Lincoln City, Bolton v Exeter, Bradford v Reading, Burton v Wickham, Cardiff v Doncaster, Luton v Port Vale, Peterborough versus Northampton, local derby, Plymouth v Rotherham, and here's the big one, Stockport versus us. Oh my goodness, what a game that is going to be. My God, that's what you do when you have the start that we've had. You create top of the table matches. Let's move on to it. This Saturday, oh my goodness. I mean, they just get bigger and bigger, don't they? 18th League One match of the season away at Stockport. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see how we respond. I'm excited to see how we set up again. Can we get a result in this game? Can we make it difficult, get a point over the line? And I want to see us play really, really well as well. This is I think probably our biggest game this season in terms of all of those things I've stated. We know we've got no Charlie Goose. Hopefully we've got Kempe back and half back, and we can get some of that personnel back into the squad with the setup. And Stockport, come on, mate. I know we joke and we say a draw. I mean, I'll bite your arm off for that on Saturday. I think a point's a fantastic result here. Wow, big game, eh? 4th v 6th, and we seem to be in them at the minute, mate, don't we?
Yeah, just going back, I've thought of another previous striker.
Oh, yeah.
You
Jason
are
Cowley.
kidding. Sorry?
Jason Cowley.
Oh, not that idiot. Not him. Not him.
Brain McCall-Smith.
Oh,
Great. What
Simeon Jackson, wasn't it?
Oh, I've got one. Ini Effiong. What about that monster?
Oh.
He was nostalgic when he in the COVID season. Ini.
God, we're pulling them out here, lads.
Oh.
Sorry, Ad. Just
Curtis Guthrie.
Oh. Well, didn't he sign for Jersey? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Or
I'm sure he's probably been sacked from there.
Something ridiculous like that,
Yeah.
Jersey, wasn't it? Oh God, what a list! What a list! Go on, Ad. Sorry.
Saturday. Look, I think, like you said, hopefully we have Harvey back. Hopefully we have Kempe back. I think for me, it's tough. I think a lot of people have gone to Stockport and struggled notoriously. They make it difficult for you. You know, they've got that big stand behind one goal. When they attack that, they've got that crowd that's right behind them. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think we might struggle in periods of it. I think they're very good with the ball. They like to look after it. They use it well. They use it sensibly. They move it. So yeah, I think it's going to be one of those games. I think it's going to be a bit like last night. We're going to have to hang in there, and with any luck, we nick a 0-0. If we get anything else out of the game, then I'll be delighted. But I can only at the moment go as far as seeing us getting a 0-0 there.
I think again. I think I said it when we were coming into the match. I think it's massive. I think it is a massive game for this team. I think it's our biggest this season so far for so many reasons of getting a result against another top team. We've said it so many times in this pod. That's what top teams do. They find a way. They have the ability to also get results against the other top teams. And I just think for us, it'd be important for the players. It'd be important and to get a result as well. And I want to see another result in the 3-5-2. And I 1,000,000% think Revs is going to set up like that in this game. 3-5-2. Dare I say it, he probably goes into it similar to last night in the sense of we get behind the ball, we work hard, we're not going to have a lot of the ball, but if we can get through it, get to 80 minutes, kind of have our imprint in that 10-minute period, but get a point, get a result, we've done our job Saturday. Stockport, home form, 15 points, so they're worse off than ourselves. They're not amazing at home. They're pretty good away. They got more points away from home, but again, it's pretty similar between points. So look, Stockport, a good team. They're missing a lot of players like ourselves. So look, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it? I think without Goody, we know Sweens is going to step up. He always does. I think for me, it's setting up 3-5-2, making sure we've got the right personnel. And look, do you know what? It's a free hit. Do those things and see if we can get a result. Luca, big game, mate, isn't it? My God, 4-3-6. They just top of the table every week, mate.
Huge game. Honestly, I do agree that it's a free hit, definitely. But if we want to go there and get a result, we've got to go that different dynamic, I think, definitely. And you've got to go to Stockport. I know their home form hasn't been incredible, but it's a really hard place to go. She was Anne's talking about the stadium they've got, the type of team they are at home. They're intense, they're aggressive when they're pressing the team, and they're going to have a style that's going to match ours as well in terms of working as a unit and being aggressive, winning those second balls. They're going to be like that. But it's a game, if we want to get a result, we've got to earn the points. We've got to put in an away performance that's got a lot about it. We need a Stevenage away performance, but not just one that's sitting there as a unit, being tight. It's got to have some different dynamics to it. Obviously, if we have the personnel to do so, but we've got to at least give it a go, attempt it. Maybe a bit of change in selection. We said Phoenix Patterson in the 10, maybe. Something like that could happen. But it's got to be something where we've got to take it to them and give Stockport things to think about. That's what I think. Not just we're going to set up like this and try and break us down. We've got to take it to them in different ways.
So I completely agree. I think for this match, we have to go in the 3-5-2 again and set up like that to make sure that we're hard to break down. Again, we know Sweens is going to come in. That back five's probably going to stay the way it is. If Kempy's not fit and he doesn't play, there needs to be a creative 10 for me. And I would put Phoenix Patterson there on Saturday. People might prefer him as a winger. I think as a clone of Dan Kemp, you've got a bloody good clone there in Phoenix Patterson, who's, some might argue is even more technically gifted than Dan Kemp, which is a very difficult thing to say. But there is that option. And I think if you had Reedy, I don't really know who's going to play next to Reedy, to be honest with you. If Gas isn't fit, it's going to be Bez or Jovan, isn't it? One of the two.
Jovan. You know what? Give Jovan again, because I think there's something with him. And I don't. The Bez is great for his experience.
Yeah.
But I think Jovan, people won't really know how to deal with him. They won't know much about him.
Why I think you make a good point. Two things. One, he hasn't really played. He hasn't started in the league. He's come on against Orient and come on the other night, right? I'd give it a go personally. And two, because Jovan's quite raw and he's physical and he's fast and he runs in behind, he's probably quite a good player to play in a game like this, to be honest.
Let's be honest, he's done nothing but impress in his trophy games, in the things that he's done.
Agreed.
And it's going to give him, as we said, something different to think about. And he gives you something different that maybe Reedy wants and needs to feed off. But yeah, I'd give it a go. If you give him 60 minutes, if it's not working, take him off. But if it's one of those moments where, in addition to Phoenix Patterson giving him game time, give him the opportunity, see how he does. Because if he doesn't do well, obviously you revert back to it. But if he does, and he gets that goal, and we're driving on and we're winning maybe 1-0 at Stockport, that is a great gamble that's really paid off.
I think in big matches, as much as we sit here and go, play the 3-5-2, be difficult to play, I do think you have to take gambles as well. I think gambles define teams. I think they define managers. And if you can get a gamble right, you're an absolute genius. And I would try it. I would go Jovan, I'd go Reedy, I'd go Phoenix in the 10. Maybe if Dan Phillips is back, you go Houghton and Phillips maybe together. Just give Louis a rest, get Dan Phillips back in the team, get him. I personally, I think you're going to need a player like Dan Phillips on Saturday. Personally, oddly, I could see that team having a good chance of maybe even nicking it to win. Maybe if we can manage the game right. It's a wonderful game. I've got to be honest, boys. I'm like a little kid. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Travelling up in the Hot Tub Lodge, first one this season. Amy's first match. Hopefully she brings us the luck. We get the points so we can all go get drunk in the hot tub. Gosh, there we go. Anne doesn't like that one. I can see it. Now, we have got loads of questions, guys. Before we have a look at our prediction competition, we've been actually throwing in quite a lot of questions. So thank you to all the listeners that have thrown in some questions tonight. I'm going to pinpoint a question each for you. And first question, this is from Stevenage Interviews. Stevenage Interviews has asked you, why do you think we weren't able to get going in the attacking third? What do you put our problems in that area down to?
I think we've summed it up. We didn't have a spark. We didn't have someone that would fill in a pocket of space, that would pick up the second balls. We didn't have runners from midfield, really, getting into the box, getting into that attacking area. And I think it's been that way for a couple of weeks. And I think this is where we didn't play for a week. From Walsall till last night, we didn't play for a week. So now my question is, what were we doing on the training pitch? What were we doing to go, right, so we don't have Kempy, we don't have Harv. What are we doing to get our final third to go from training pitch to match situation?
Well, it sounds like they're all in the recovery room.
Well,
the physio room by the sounds of it.
So I think that's my point. Like we must do in training work within the final third and how we move and our patterns of play. Now, obviously, we can't recreate them step for step on a Saturday or a Tuesday night because it's going to be different setups, different positions, different players. We don't know how they press. So we have to adapt what we've done on the training pitch to the game. And it just looks like at the moment we don't have in the final third patterns of play. We don't go, right, Kempy's going to get the ball, Reedy's going to make this run, Chem's going to make that run, Jordan might make that one, Bez might make that. We just look like we're just headless chickens and there's no structure to it. And you saw with Birmingham, when they got the ball into the final third, they moved the ball. Everyone knew when this pass got made, this one needs to make the run there. It was structured. And what happens from it eventually, because they have chance after chance after chance, bang, they go and score a goal. I think we just need more structure in that final third. At the moment, it's chaos.
Yeah.
And chaos doesn't work.
Well answered, and I think.
Can I just can I add on from that? I think that one of the reasons also, in addition to that, is I think you saw it in spells last night, that I think the attackers isolate themselves too much. I think that they need to be involved in playing more. They need to at least, I know it's hard last night without that spark in Kempy and Harvey White as well. I think that they've got to involve themselves more in play and definitely work harder to maybe receive the ball and link up play. Definitely try and make things happen, because I feel like last night they were so marginal and so, isolated with both of the centre backs of Cardiff. And I just thought it was just pointless, really. And I thought they were so easy to play against in the way that they just did what they thought they were doing in terms of just pressing them, marking them. You've got to, when we've got the ball and we're trying to progress up play, because we have lots of defensive players on the pitch. When that happens and you see that moments where, there's a chance to get forward, to progress up the pitch, I think that they've got to do more to integrate themselves in.
I am going to go with your point as well. There's something I call changing the play. And some people might know what it is, but some people might. But what I mean by that is, as a striker, I think or an attacking player, there's moments in the game where you need to change the play. And what I mean by that is, when I look at last night, there was a lot of running in behind. Every phase of play, it was really trying to get in behind. It was Bez trying to get in behind. And what I mean by change the play, when you looked at Cardiff, right, look at the different changes of play that Saleh did. There were times he ran in behind. There were times he came into the midfield, got on the ball, kept the ball, moved it, changing the play. And for me, there isn't enough of that. Come in, get the ball, go into the midfield, mate drag your centre half out, allow someone.
Not asking the question at all.
Yeah, and then what you do is it's almost like as a centre half, as soon as the other team's got the ball, is my striker going in behind? Is he going? It kind of delays the defender. So what I'd like, it's intelligent play, but it's changing the play. Bez, we know you've got pace, son. Come into the midfield a bit. Play, get on the ball, help the midfield. Try and bring your defender out. There wasn't enough of that. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with that, Luca, personally, in your little statement. Andrew Scott, Luca, has asked you, do you reckon it's worth going back to the 4-1-2-1-2 or the 5-2-1-2 formation? Attack being Kemp, Reed and Malcolm seem to play our best in that formation.
Just trying to put that together as a formation.
Wasn't it 4-2-3-1, wasn't it? That was the...
Yeah, well, I'd agree with you for Stockport 3-5-2. I think you've got to keep that going, just add different dynamics, as I've said. Burton, I would revert back to 4-2-3-1. I think I'd revert back to that. At home, where there's a team and maybe going to assume a low block in Burton, you're going to want to use that formation to just give something different, give more emphasis on that 10 role and the wingers in terms of breaking down the line, getting the crosses in, stuff like that. I think that Stockport wouldn't be the type of game to do it. I think we've got to keep that shape and consolidate what we've done in the most recent games.
Could you imagine if we all went up to Stockport on Saturday, had a look at the team sheet, 4-2-3-1, Joe in the middle, Phoenix, Chem.
Made to measure.
Could you imagine?
Made to measure.
Right, say for example, we played it and we won the game. Be unreal, wouldn't it? It would. It made to measure, yeah. That would be fun.
I'm sorry, Farley.
Another striker? Another player or?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've saved you all a ref rant from last night because he was atrocious.
Yeah. Do you know? Do you know what? Yeah, first half he was all right. Second half,
so he lost control of the game.
Yeah,
and I think that's what kind of, in a way, played into Cardiff's hands because then we lost our way. And what got me right? You walk out of that ground. We had 5 yellow cards last night. They had 1. Their number 2 dragged Reedy twice within the space of 2 minutes, round by the neck onto the floor. Didn't get booked. I'm thinking, what?
I was
going to give him a warning. The second one's then a booking.
I was going to say, when you see all of our players booked 4 to 5, and then their booking was like right at the end of the game, it's been a bit of a stinker by the ref. Hopefully we get a good one at Stockport. I don't know who we've got. Rich has asked, do you guys think we need to sign a new striker, or does the management team just need to train our current players better so we can score more goals? I think it's really simple for me, Rich. I think it could potentially be a bit of both. Look, I think we have got more than enough players in the final third to contribute and score. When you have a look at the play, you see Kemp, Phoenix, Chem, Bez, Jordan Roberts. It's a lot of top quality players there. Jamie Reed. I think what it is other than Jamie Reid, we don't have a goal scorer. And I think the thing about Jamie Reid is Jamie Reid isn't going to consistently score you goals throughout the season. He has certain purple patches where he comes up, scores 3 goals, he scores a couple of goals here. That's kind of typically how Reedy goes for his season. And when Reedy's not on his purple patch, you need other players to score goals. I don't think we have that. The Gas isn't a goal scorer. The Gas is going to help us in those direct games. Jovan's still very raw. This is kind of like an apprenticeship season, dare I say it, for Jovan at the level. Outside them, you've got Jake Young, who's, never fit. It doesn't seem like. And then you've got the Bez that isn't really a striker, is more of a winger that we're playing there at the minute for pace because we haven't really got a lot of options. So I think it's nailed on that we need to at least look at a League One level striker. I'm not going to sit here and go, we need a goal scorer. Because a top goal scorer, they come with a price, and normally those top goal scorers follow the money. But a nice League One level striker, I think that's what we need. Whether he loans out one of the current players, I don't know. Obviously, the Gas can't be loaned because he's on loan to us. But it's certainly in it. We have to improve the goals. We have to improve the goals. And I think we need to recruit another striker along with Reedy, personally. Thanks all listeners for sending in your question. We had loads more, but we are running out of time. Sorry if we didn't ask your question. We'll make sure we do it on the pod on Sunday after we go back second place in the league. I was waiting for Anne just to smile there. Luca did. See, Luca, Anne's very experienced at this now. Those little ad-libs, if I call them. They're not ad-libs, but you know what I mean.
I just choose to ignore.
The Stevenage Football Club podcast prediction competition. Come on, boys. Right, Luca, what did you go with last night again? Was it?
I think I put Stockport as our only loss this month. I think I said 1-0.
Let me have a look. You went. What did you go? So for Stockport, you went 1-0 loss. For Cardiff, you went 2-2. So no points scored on that prediction. And went 0-0. So Anne is back in the running now because Anne's got half a prediction correct. So that is 2 points. Actually, no, Luca, you still get a point, don't you? Because we still get a point.
Yeah, Luca still gets a point.
Okay. Luca gets a point, Anne gets 2. I also get 2 because I got 2-1 win. And obviously Cardiff got the 1 goal. So that's half a prediction correct. So, boys, at the minute, and Luca are both on 6 points, tying at the minute.
Hang on for a 0-0 Saturday, boys. Get me the points, please.
That's what you've got for us. I am on 7, so it's a point. I mean, it's so competitive and tight at the minute. Stockport away and went for 0-0. Luca went for a 1-0 Stockport win, and I went for a 1-1.
I always think with 0-0, you're in the game. Always in the game.
Well, to be fair, 0-0 is a great shout because at 3-5-2, you back us to hopefully get through the game without conceding. At the minute, we're not really scoring goals. So 0-0
it's just easy to put 0-0 every single game. Just do that.
Yeah. Although, why have I got this feeling that we're going to go 1-0 down and then the Bez is going to come off the bench?
No, he will not.
Scramble one here. I don't know.
No. I tell you what, I would rather watch. Oh, I've got to think of a rule.
Oh, no, not another striker. We're not back here, are we? Back here again.
I would rather watch. Do you know what, right? What's interesting, Jake Young, you see him and then he goes. And you see him again and then he goes. Where does he go? He literally played like 20 minutes in the Virtue. I'm thinking at least he had a proper go and had a gut chance.
Is Jake Young on like a pay-as-you-go contract these days? Like a fun.
I'd rather watch Jake Young than Bez Labala run around.
I will back that. I'd like to see Youngie play a bit more. I don't think we ever will see Youngie a lot more. But 0-0. I don't know. I've gone 1-1. I on their podcast I said 1-0 win. I just got excited and went 1-0. But 1-1. I think we might score in the game because I think Revs will try and improve the output. He'll be working on things this week to improve that. So I think we'll score.
Bloody well hope so.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll let him. I think it'll be 1-1.
It can't get worse. It can't get worse. Let's just put it that way.
It can.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was always going to be put in. That.
Yeah, it can. I love that, by the way. It can't. What does he say? Does he go, it can't go on like this?
Well, it was like one win in 17. Can't go on like this, can it? Rick Yum.
The goodness.
I mean, it's not. It could be 1 win in 17. Let's be honest.
Well, it is 1 win in 7. So another 10. Hopefully, that's not the case. But...
It was I saw a video of that recently. He went, "It can," and it fucking did.
It can, and it fucking did.
Gotta get Scotty Cuthbert or Neil Banfield just sitting at the table, just ask them that question.
Oh,
see if they
we get Banfield on.
What, the podcast?
Yeah.
Well,
we got to do a footballistically counter. You know, put it in the bottom right corner. See how many times he says it.
Do you know what?
Please, can we get Banfield on?
Do you know what I love?
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Do you know what I'd love? Right, I'm trying so hard at the minute to get Alex Ravel, or I've got. If it's Reedy, right, I'm going to have to do it for his brother, Jay.
How's it going?
So we haven't made contact really. Now, Luther has seen he's read it. So we have made contact with Luther. We are waiting a response. Luther's seen it. Revs, we've messaged. I don't know if he's seen it or not. He might have, he might not have. So I think there must be a way where we can get a hold of Scotty Cuthbert or Neil Banfield. Surely.
Right, Farley,
as
listen.
A backup.
Listen, Farley. You're at the games on a home game early enough to see Banfield arrive or Scott Cuthbert and the players. Why don't you just ask him, person to person, man to man? Neil, we love you. Would you like to come on our podcast for a Christmas special?
You've got to, hasn't he? Surely.
I'm laying all hopes on you here.
You know what I'd love?
He's my hero.
You know
He's the man I want to go and be when I grow up.
The most important season, currently 6th in League One, right? Cracking open a few Christmas cocktail cans. You got Banfield there, and he's in his slippers, and he's.
Let's be honest. Your dream is to get the Bez on, and we know that.
Now
that is your dream, and
if Bez comes on this podcast, I won't be there.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Podcast. I'm gone.
I would rather be on it with Butts, honestly.
Oh
no! Why have I said that?
And by the way, and that is the biggest load of rubbish, because if we got the Bez on, you'd be on in a heartbeat.
I would not. I'm not speaking. No, not that donkey.
I'm not having that. And Dan,
I think he knows of you, and I think he knows of you.
100%. I've sent the Bez a few DMs about Ant and Ant's opinion.
Oh, Sween dog. Honestly,
Sween's on.
Now, he replies to every message. Actually, that's Sweeney.
We wouldn't be talking about on topic. We would not be on topic, would we?
The Sween dog. Why do we get the Sween dog on?
Do it.
Whenever I message the Sween dog, he responds within the hour.
He'll do it.
Get him on.
Here's something. What about if I went to the Sween dog? Sweens, we're looking at doing a Christmas special episode. Is there any chance we can get you and Reedy on?
Oh,
together, because they're good pals. Or Swains, can we get you and Banfield on?
You do realise this is still recording, so this is going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure the listeners will be buzzing about
it. Just glad you're aware.
Oh, Swain dog. All right, we'll see what we can do, because the Christmas special episode for you boys and for everyone, I'm really excited for this. It's going to be in a week and a half, which is mad because it's Christmas Eve, 2 weeks today. That episode is going to be released on Christmas Eve, 2 weeks today. There's going to be a Christmas half of the season quiz. It's going to be...
That's me finished. May as well hang up the boots now, lads.
You two boys are in. I've got you in, right? There's going to be prizes for the winners. We might get a couple of others on. There'll be prizes for the winners. It's going to be a brilliant laugh. It's going to be brilliant. So hopefully we can sort, something out. That'll be good. Boys, we've ever come to the end. I'm so excited for Saturday. I'm so excited.
No.
I'm going to give myself...
It's Stockport.
I don't
of all
care.
places in the world.
We are a top half League One team. That's what we created, and We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. The Bez is going to have the game of his life, I promise.
No, he won't. It'll be another donkey performance over there.
But thank you so much, all the listeners, for tuning in to episode number 30 on Stevenage Football Club podcast. We will be back on Sunday reacting to the big match against Stockport, 4th v 6th. And then we will be looking ahead to, a massive match against Burton. I think we've all confirmed before the Christmas and festive period. Guys, go and give us a follow and a like and subscribe on YouTube. Go and give us a follow on the Audible Spotify. Please go and give us a follow on our socials as well. We've got, obviously, I call Luca, but it is Stevenage Luca on Twitter. Please go and follow Luca. Luca has got all of the match preview tweets out, post analysis, little in-depth analysis tweets, and also keep an eye. Luca is going on a Cardiff City podcast when we play them in return fixtures. So please keep your eye out for that. We'll try and retweet that as well, so you guys can go and see Luca on that. That is a massive deal to go on that. Go and follow at Andy_stats.
No.
Get in the bin.
He had to drop that in.
Sorry, what is your Twitter handle? At Andrew Blair 1999.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shout that is. Bloody hell. I didn't know I knew that really off the top of my head. Go and follow Andrew. You can also follow me at Farley SFC. And please go and follow the podcast at TSFC Podcast for all of your Stevenage Football Club podcast content. Guys, have a lovely week. See you for the Pies in Stockport. Let's get a result. And let's all meet up again on Sunday to go through a fantastic 3 points. Guys, have a great week. At this time, as always, you've been listening to the Stevenage Football Club podcast.